Simon, on Saturday night, he went into the ring again, and it was thought it's win or bust for Josh Warrington. It turns out that's exactly what it was all about. Josh did well. He came through it magnificently and became the new IBF featherweight champion, Josh Warrington, at the end of it all, because he managed to stop this man, this very dangerous Kiko Martinez. So Josh did it, but he was battle scarred as a result, a broken wrist and a fractured jaw, but he woke up this morning and was in the mood to speak to me. He's a friend of us, he's a friend of this show, and we love him dearly. And I said to him, first things first, after what he came through, it was bruising, it was battering. How was he?
talkSPORT exclusive.
I'm still on a high, naturally. World champion again, buzzing with that. Obviously a little bit physically sore. Jaw's a little bit sore, hands a little bit sore. Bit of fine balance actually, Jim.
I mean, I know you had an operation in your jaw straight after it.
Yeah, I got put to sleep on early hours Sunday morning, operation. But I feel like the adrenaline has been keeping me going. You know, the natural adrenaline from just winning the fight and the buzz of it. But that's starting to come down now, so I'm starting to feel a little bit tired and a little bit achy.
I watched the fight again last night, Josh. In no way were you going to settle for anything other than a convincing win. You were not out to accept defeat in any circumstances.
The thing is, Jim, there was a lot of pressure riding on it, and to be fair, all throughout camp, I didn't really feel that pressure until probably about 10 days ago when the media started building up and people started leaving the comments like, this is all or not for Josh Warrington. If he doesn't win here, where can he go? And then I think a little bit of realisation at home then of how big of this fight is. A big support coming, and I'm unbeaten in Leeds, so I wasn't going to start becoming beaten in Leeds. So as soon as I walked out to that audience and I got in the ring, there was no way I was getting beat that night.
I mean, you respected him before, but after what he threw at you, do you have even more respect for Kiko Martinez?
I sent him a message on Sunday afternoon telling him how much respect I have for him. You know, he's a legend of the sport. He's been in the sport 18 years, and when I turned professional back in 2009, he was already fighting at European level. 5 years ago, people wrote him off when I first boxed him, and obviously went on to win a world title again. So he's a massive credit to the sport, and he's never say that attitude. He keeps on fighting. But yeah, I've got tremendous amount of respect for Kiko Martinez. Josh,
now that we know you won it, I can ask you this straight. What would defeat have meant for you?
I'll be honest with you, Jim. I'd probably sat sulked at home for a good few weeks. The reality of it is I probably would have retired. You know, I think you have a look at the situation, and you know it takes maybe 2 or 3 years to build back up, going through eliminators and stuff like that to get back to the top level. And I'm not saying I wasn't prepared to do that, but you know, opportunities are very thin, especially in a division like the featherweight division where it's very competitive. So realistically, it would have been probably retirement. So that's why I wasn't going to let anyone beat me that night.
But you go in again after what you did on Saturday night. You go again, and who would be next? Is it Lee Wood or is it the US? What's next?
Well, we've got many options on the table. Obviously, domestically, Lee Wood is a massive fight. You know, he's talked about fighting at the City Ground. I've done my stadium fights here, so I wouldn't mind going to someone else's backyard. You know, I've done the Headingley Stadium, I've done Ellen Road, I've done the Leeds Arena 11 times. And there's also America. You know, I've wanted to go over to America for many years now. You know, when I won the world title first time back in 2018, you know, I've talked about going over to America after that. So the support that follows me has been very patient, and they've been wanting to, you know, they've had the passports at the ready, they've had the credit cards at the ready as well. So I would like to get to America just to tick that box off.
Josh, I tell you, mate, and you deserve it. You must be one of the best supported fighters on the planet. I mean, the support you get is amazing, isn't it?
It is, Jim. It's very special. You know, I said on Saturday night, we don't do the numbers that the big boys do, like you know, the heavyweights, but they're an attraction. What the support that I have is loyal. Is loyal, and it's real. You know, the through thick and thin, they've been there like over the years. It's got bigger and bigger, and you know, through thick, like I say, through his ups and downs after my defeat to Lara, they turned out to see me get revenge. Obviously, that didn't happen because the fight getting stopped early. In the bid to become a 2-time world champion, they come out again. They made themselves heard. They were noisy, they're passionate, and I'll be forever indebted to everyone who comes along and supports me, because they are a special kind, and I can't thank them all enough.
Josh, let's hope your consultant's not listening to this. You go rest that jaw, mate.
Thanks very much, Jim. Great speaking to you, mate.
Josh Warrington, he's some guy. Their mentality...
Who I picked to win.
Who you picked to win, that's true. But
I think I was alone in that.
Were you? The boxer's mentality, though, Simon, the top boxers like Warrington, and there he is recovering this morning. He's a bit drugged up because he's still in a bit of pain, obviously. Who wouldn't be with a fractured jaw and a broken wrist? But there he is talking about going back out there again. And defeat would have meant the end, he says. He was honest enough to say that, probably retirement. But he's ready to go back out, or will be ready to go back out again. This is what they do, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
It's the next challenge.
I mean, as I've said to you, and you're coming around to that school of thought ever more, the more we do boxing, it is a phenomenal sport in terms of the protagonists, the engagement from the audience, the sheer thrill factor, all the way from the lowest of the smallest of the small hall fights up to the big world title fights, all the glamorous people go and see. That's like when Palace go in the Premier League, everyone wanted to watch Palace versus Man United, once we're interested in Palace versus Burnley. So the whole spectrum of boxing is exciting across all of its different viewpoints. And of course these guys are unique. I mean, who goes into something knowing they're going to get a punch in the face on a repeated basis? Yeah. But the excitement and the thrill of it and the integrity of it. Yeah, I know we have these unedifying arguments where you get nitwits like Dillian White's promoter making an argument in an empty room, really. Arguing with Frank Warren about tickets and God knows what else, with contracts being signed. Yeah. But the whole intrigue of boxing, and when you talk to people like Josh Warrington, these are decent lads. How many times do we have fighters coming in here, whether it's Richard Riakporhe, whether it's Sonny Edwards, whether it's Josh Boazzi, whether it's Craig Richards, whether it's Lee Wood, whether it's Josh Warrington, that come on and you just think, what really, these guys go into the ring and they punch 7 bells out of one another. But they come in here and they talk about their lives and their experiences and their challenges and their outlook and the things that are in front of them. And every time we walk out of a room with a boxer, we go, what a fella that is. Yeah. I'm not so sure the same conversation happens that many times about footballers, tragically. So you and I were hugely excited by Amir Khan Kell-Brook. That's why we went. We were ringside, luckily enough, for that, and it didn't disappoint. Would Warrington against Wood be the same? Well, there's not the needle, is there? There's not the legacy fight in terms of, first of all, there's a genuine world title fight here. This is not two domestic fighters at the end of their careers getting a really big payday and a lot of interest because of the nature of two stellar names that once were. Yeah. These two are stellar names that are, and they both got very strong representations of support from Nottingham, from Leeds. That makes it a really barn bust. They're both incredibly brave fighters. They both put it all on the line. It's a real fight. It's a pick'em fight in terms of you can't really determine who's going to win this fight. Some would say, Gareth A. Davis being one of them, that it's Josh Wood all day. Josh Warrington all day. You're covering all options. Yeah, I know, covering the bases. So Gareth would say it's Josh Warrington. Yeah, I would make the case for an argument that Lee Wood would have just as much of a say in this fight as Josh. Yeah, we both like Josh. We both like Lee. But the bottom line is it brings about an intriguing set of fights. Then you've got people like Richard Riakporhe that are going to land on Lawrence Okoye's doorstep. What we've got is a vibrant British boxing scene. It's a great time. It's a great time to be into the fight game. Okay, Josh Warrington lives to fight again another day, and we thank him for that exclusive interview earlier on this morning. It's 11:30.